Rude Barn podcast. I got my buddy right over here.
Hey, gang.
It's
It's the
Rude.
rude. It's the rude.
It's the Rude. I'm
All right.
Bong. How are you? How's everybody
been
doing
a-
today? Oh, dude, I don't know about you, but I'm freaking exhausted.
It's been a week.
It's been a week. I'll tell you. I don't know if you've been tired, allergies, something wrong. I don't know what it is, but I'm a little exhausted. Just not gonna lie.
Yeah, I've been so busy. I've pulled a couple late nights.
Late
dealing with-
nights. That's it. Yep.
Yeah, and that's the kind of thing. So I am lacking on sleep. So forgive me if
Oh yeah. I hear you.
if I go too
If
crazy.
we're a little slow, we're gonna
or
try to
if-
slap ourselves
yeah.
awake here if we need to.
Well, if my brain goes like on the crazy side of things, you wouldn't want that, right?
Yeah, I know. I don't know about you, man, but I've long nights, craziness going on. It's just I'm exhausted. Been hanging out with somebody, and maybe you might know who this guy is, but I mean, man, I'm telling you, it was a crazy time. And oh, there he is,
Mr. Party
my,
himself.
my boy Diddy, dude.
The
I'm telling
dudes.
you. So
Oh my
the Dids has been active lately, like in the last couple days, because he's been on the major DL for months now.
Mhm.
Ever since they raided his house in LA, and the other one in house, freaking mansion, and
Yeah.
and then also in what, Miami, somewhere down there as well. He's been gallivanting around the world or something. But anyway, yeah. So I just got back. I'm tired. This guy puts on a party. That's all I gotta say.
Guy's been party like one straight party for like 20 years.
One straight party. It's a relentless party. It just is perpetual.
Yeah.
It goes on and on and on. This guy,
Okay.
this guy's
Could
something
you
else. So
imagine
we're gonna be talking
being
about our good friend, the Dids, the P Dids.
Could you
Because
imagine being the cleanup crew for the last 20 years for that
yeah. Well, apparently he got arrested. I don't know if you know that.
guy?
I don't know if you know that, but he got arrested. And so now it sounds like P Did is in a lot of trouble.
Little hot
And
water there, dids.
hmm?
I
What's
said
that?
little hot water there, dids. My bad.
A little bit. Yeah. He got himself in a little bit of trouble. So yeah, so he's been kind of, running from the LAR for a little while. But here I keep wondering, what the hell is his latest nickname, dude? I'm telling you, what the hell is he? Is he P Diddy now? Is he Puff Diddy, Puff Daddy, Puffy, Sean
I
Puffy
wish
Combs?
I'm glad I don't know.
I know,
How about
right?
that? I'm not a huge fan, never been a huge
No.
fan. Not to say that, he wasn't talented, but it just wasn't my thing.
No, and it just sounds, from everything I've heard, he just sounds like he's, and I've seen it over the years, and he comes across this little, boyish smile and all this shit that oh, Puffy or Sean, and he's I guess he's just a major dick, I guess.
Well,
So
he always rubbed me as creepy. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Oh,
Like he was always like he's always plotting something.
he's always plotting something. And he and Jay-Z and Beyonce, if you haven't, we're not going to get into all that because we just kind of want to touch on this today. We don't have a lot of time, but I do want to kind of bring this up that
Love.
but Brother Love, oh, it's his worst nickname, and I guess that would be true.
Oh my
So
goodness.
I don't know. I can't keep track of all of the nicknames he likes to go for. He wants to be known as Love right here. I mean, are you kidding me? What kind of love?
That's creepy, dude.
Yeah. So he's got all these nicknames, and then and I wonder why. Why would somebody always want to reinvent themselves by changing their names? So he's got P Diddy, he's got Puff Daddy. I mean, everybody knows these. This is not new. Puffy, Diddy, and then this Love, aka Brother Love. Like, really? So I'm just like, and this guy, yo, find a new gimmick. I invented and perfected Brother Love. I'm the original, and you are not. Remember, North Carolina. Is that an inside thing that they know about that I don't? Nobody else? Probably, because I don't know a whole lot about these guys anyway. I don't pretend to.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why you would do that. I guess it seems a little garish. And I get like having a persona, especially like if you're a pop star or whatever. But at the same time, why why keep changing it? Why keep I don't know. I don't get it. It seems
Well,
yeah, it
who
seems weird.
who what kind of person is usually changing their name? Like a alias.
I would say somebody who's like trying to
Got something
hide
to
from
hide?
something. Yeah, trying to hide from something.
Or disappear, or I don't want to be known as that guy anymore. Therefore, that's why they have all the aliases when they, arrest somebody, so and so, aka Bliss, aka that, aka whatever. Just makes you kind of wonder, right?
Yeah, it does. It raises a lot of questions because what are you hiding? What are
Yeah.
you hiding,
And
Combs?
if you're a Diddy fan, that's fine. I don't really care. We're just trying to present stuff that we found interesting as we start, going down the rabbit hole here, and we find out a little bit more. Now, I've been kind of following this for a few months since they first started arresting this guy, and you have to understand the feds do not raid your house unless they got some shit on you.
Yeah, it seems like they've got it. Well, it by law, like they have to have something to go on,
Right.
um, to raid your house. They can't just come in and say they can't come in on suspicion. They have to have some sort of proof or some sort of something.
Yeah, and they've been gathering evidence over the years. I don't know how long, but it obviously it's something major, because you don't have, like, I don't know how many guys, or 50 guys raiding the house. They knew exactly where they were going. They knew exactly who was home. They knew he wasn't at home, but they knew his sons were at home, and a few other people that, part of the entourage were there, and they raided this guy. So now we get into this a little bit more. And you remember the Biebs? You
Good
remember,
old bees. Yeah,
Justin Bieber?
yeah.
And my girls and my wife, oh, he's so talented. I love him. He's so great. He's like, oh yeah, yeah, granted. Yeah, I'm sure he is. I'm not saying anything that Justin Bieber is not talented. P. Diddy did discover him, and discovered him for a reason, or two, or several. And as you find out more, I'm kind of like, oh, poor Beebs a little bit. I mean, I'm not totally, but a little bit. I'm like, oh, this poor kid. Well, here's an old video when Bieber was, what is he here? 14, 15, maybe 16 years old, something like that.
About 15, 16.
And here's a couple creepy videos of Diddy, who I don't have the clip of him on that Nickelodeon show where he was telling these other two boys who couldn't wake up the other kid that was sleeping on the couch. And so, well, we tried, banging drums and pouring water on. And then he told him to do something that was like really like inappropriate that you don't really realize. And then you find out Nickelodeon is just this kind of pedophile racketeering kind of,
Kyle bracket. Yeah.
oh my God. If you haven't, people, go check into that. We might dive into that at some point as well, if it comes back up. But this is just kind of crazy. But listen to this, of our good friend the Biebs being welcomed into the realm of the P Diddy universe.
I mean, good.
I'm good. How are you?
All right, young brother, everything's good.
Everything's
Selling
great.
out arenas and everything. Starting to act different, huh?
No,
You ain't been calling me and hanging out the way we used to hang out.
Well,
What does
I
that
mean,
mean?
you haven't. I mean, you try to get in contact with me, through all my, partners and whatnot,
Mm-hmm.
but you never really got my number. So,
Correct.
your
Okay.
number?
Yeah,
I'm gonna tell you my number.
Sure, this is just
yeah.
555.
improv. I'm sure they just, yeah, that was just as real,
You think that was
not set up at all. Like,
yeah? You think that was staged? I don't know.
I was like, oh my God. Okay. We don't hang out like I'm sorry, he's about 16 years old and you're at this point 30s
It's got to be mid
and we're
30s.
not hanging out.
Hang out like we used to.
Does that not raise a question with anybody sitting out there going, what in the F is going on with this? This sounds a little odd to me. I don't know if I'd allow my 15, 16-year-old kid to hang out with some, big time rap star. in his mansion by yourself for days on end, weeks on end. I think it was something like that.
Well, it kind of. I mean, he's not as weird and eccentric as MJ was, but it kind of gives me MJ vibes. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
And he always kind of had, like I said, he kind of always had something about him that was untrustworthy to me. Like he's plotting something. He had something weird going on in his head. He's thinking something, and he's almost kind of like uh cracker crumbing you in. You know what I mean? Leaving you a little trail. So and especially like as a young kid like that.
Oh yeah.
I guess I don't know. It just seems it's creepy, to say the least.
Well, you've got a couple young gals that are growing up in your household right now, and let's say one of them was getting into the entertainment industry. She wanted to be an actress or a model or something like that, and there was a mentor, and even if it's some gal, okay, I don't want to name a name and put an idea in anybody's head that I'm even suggesting that somebody like that would do this, because they don't want to. But you can just imagine anybody high up in the modeling or acting business, some gal who's a mentor to young upcoming stars. Would you feel comfortable allowing your daughter to go spend a couple weeks at their Hollywood mansion? And let's say she's a few years older, so she's getting to be about 15, 16. Would you allow that or not? Or would you like, you know what, maybe I'll go down with you, I'll be there, or maybe that's like a great idea for context, but it just seems a little creepy weird that somebody would want a young gal sitting in their house.
I wouldn't. I mean, number one, because they're not 18.
Yeah.
So if you're doing anything,
And even still,
you're doing anything, you're going to be accompanied by an adult. That if it's not me, it's one of the family or somebody that I trust, and they're going to be your chaperone.
exactly.
And hell no, not a chance on earth that I would
Hells to the no, bitch.
I would let one of my children go unaccompanied for weeks at a time at this supposed
mentoring program.
Mentor's house
Right.
program. Like it's there's
Not
too
sitting
much
well with me.
There's too much yuck in it, dude. There's just way too much yuck.
Well, and the thing is, we know a lot about the Hollywood crowd and these people and what they have allegedly done over the years. And even if not, you just want to think, you know what, I'm going to protect you from the worst and hope the best comes after, the whole thing, and nothing happens. But if you're not thinking that, you know what, God, all it takes is one time for something bad to happen.
Yeah.
And this is unfortunately what I think what's happened to the Biebs here is, he got caught up in this one time thing that turned into more than one time. And so here's another yet creepy. He almost looks like he's a year or so younger even in this one.
A younger one, yeah.
And here's Diddy, and just listen to what he's saying to Biebs, and understanding there's probably a lot of undertones and innuendo in here and double entendres and things like that that are being said that are going over Bieber's head right now. But when you look back, and then I got a few more coming up here as well, you start going, oh my God, what the F is going on?
Listen, you ever seen the movie 48 Hours? Right now, he's having 48 hours with Diddy, him and his boy. They're having the times of their lives, like where we hanging out and what we doing. We can't really disclose.
Can't really disclose.
But, it's definitely a 15-year-old's dream.
Oh, I bet it is.
I have been given custody of him. He signed to Usher.
He signed to Usher.
I had legal guardianship of Usher.
I remember this one.
Do you remember this
one? Yes, I do remember this.
It is all kind of coming together. Usher and Diddy, he signed Usher. And you saw the Howard Stern interview with, and I can't remember if I have that on here. I might have that where Howard's talking to him. Oh, you were a little kid hanging out with P Diddy in his mansion. Did anything happen? Well, yeah, we had women and shit, whatever and whatever else. It was gross. Kind of going on, and now he's guardianship of Usher. I mean, it's like this just gets creepier and creepier with this guy. Now you kind of know why he got arrested.
Why do you need guardianship?
Right.
Why?
You're the parents.
Where's Beeb's parents? Why and why would you? I don't trust Diddy as far as I could throw him. You know what I mean? Or anybody for that matter, until you kind of show me that you're not a 1000% piece of garbage.
Right.
And for him to just kind of, it's just even like the vibe that he's giving off in this video. It's like, well, we can't say what we're doing. What?
Can't disclose that.
Can't disclose that. That's creepy, man.
Yeah. It's like, what the hell does that mean? Oh, I can't disclose it, but still, what the hell does that mean? Yeah, I mean, let's go on.
When he did his first album, I did Usher's first album. I don't have legal guardianship of him, but for the next 48 hours, he's with me.
Why would you have legal guardianship of Usher also? Unless he was talking about that before, but it sounds like he has legal guardianship of Bieber, and he had wanted legal guardianship of Usher.
Yeah, that seems weird. I thought Usher was older than Diddy.
Usher is older. How long has Diddy been doing this diddying? You know what I mean?
Well, then, yeah.
When did Diddy first come on in the scenes? Didn't he? Because there's rumor that our good buddies Tupac and Biggie were kind of in the literal crosshairs of Diddy and his gangs, and Diddy was the one that was responsible in a roundabout way, or directly, or whatever. I'm not sure. I'm speculating, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that was what, 92, 95, somewhere to 93, somewhere in there.
Early
When did Tupac?
Like 93.
I want early 90s.
Yeah, let's
for
say
sure.
early 90s.
Yeah, and you can add in the comment section here, just to clarify it if you like. But I think a lot of people remember that this is where the things are starting to get tied together here, and Diddy's been involved, and I don't know how old he was in the 90s, because how old is Diddy right now? He's got to be in his late 40s, early 50s, mid 50s.
I'm thinking mid 50s.
Yeah. And so at least 30, 35 years that he's been involved with a lot of this shit. It's going on, and it's just like, and he's with me, and it's like it's a very controlling situation. Once guardianship, once legal guardianship, he's with me. Mm-hmm. I wish I could have you stay here for a week. I mean, it's like
so. And we gonna go full crazy.
Buck full crazy. We going crazy. What the F is that supposed to mean?
Did you see how creeped out Biebs looked?
Oh yeah.
He's like, he keeps looking at him and he's like,
yeah, he was
like, I don't know what to say. That's weird, man.
Yeah. He was very uncomfortable. It was very uncomfortable. I'm not gonna lie. And it's just
uncomfortable to watch.
It's uncomfortable to watch. Now, here is one that says, this is the Justin Bieber interview that will make you hate Diddy. This thing's 11 minutes long. We're just going to play a little bit of it, obviously for time-wise and stuff like that as well. But this is the stuff that you have messed up Bieber a little bit. I think this poor kid, I've never cared for his music. I never followed him. I'm not a pop star kind of guy. I could really give a rat's. I like alternative stuff and other stuff like that. But this poor kid seems like he's been rung through the ringer quite a bit. And look at his body language as he's sitting here.
I haven't seen him for years, maybe. I don't, like it's same with me. I'm not really I don't really follow pop stars too much. It's really not my genre of music.
Right.
But my God, dude, he looks like the Joker right there.
Well, he's got kind of Eminem kind of vibe going on, I think, there a little bit or something. Joker, Eminem, something, but something's messed up with this poor kid. And Bieber, the Biebs is what, 30, 35 now, something like that.
Yeah, he's got to be mid-30s or something.
Yeah, he's probably around Taylor Swift's age. She's what, 34. So he's got to be somewhere around there, maybe a couple years older, late 30s. But my God, look at this poor kid, and he just looks emotionally, mentally, spiritually beat the hell up.
Like he's just a shell right now,
Yeah. Now, granted, thank God he's at least had some success financially in his career and everything like that, but that doesn't make up for the demons that he's been dealing with over these years either. So let's listen to a little bit of this and see if we can kind of get an idea of where his head's at right now.
Sipping lean, I was popping pills.
Welcome to the family, John.
Telling me they love me.
Diddy.
Bravo. Just
Diddy.
turn their back on you in a second.
I don't have legal guardianship of him, but for the next 48 hours, he's with me.
Please be praying for Justin Bieber. Justin Bieber has been releasing some videos in a photo dump a couple of days ago of him crying. And many, many fans around the world are concerned. They're also saying that this might be connected directly to the claims that P Diddy, trigger warning, did things to him as a very young child. We have no idea why Justin Bieber's released this photo and a couple other photos of him crying, but he did. And as I said before, a lot of fans believe that this is a plea, a cry for help. So please be praying for Justin Bieber. May whatever he's going through be easy for him, and then that God brings him peace.
All right. This kind of might give you a little bit of an idea of what kind of piece of shit, apparently, that Diddy is. Allegedly, because we'd never want to, accuse it without the actual evidence in hand. But I'm telling you, there sure seems to be a lot of shit going on about the didster. And so, do you know who this Jaguar Wright gal is?
No.
She was
Jaguar Wright.
I want to say she was a backup singer or something like that. I'm trying to remember. It's all on the top of my head. I'm trying to remember all of this shit. But she apparently was behind the scenes a lot with all of this stuff, and a lot of people are fearing for her life, that she might be on the in the crosshairs of the Diddy clan, who want to keep her silent. Seems to be a theme going on here lately in the world. Silencing your accusers, your opposition, your whatever, right? Just speculation. Anyway, but there seems to be a lot of this going on, and so let's just kind of get into this a little bit, because I'm telling you, there's a lot of weird shit going on, and there's some people I've even heard interviews, and I don't know if it's on this one or not, of his bodyguards, Diddy's bodyguards, calling his ass out, going, you know what, I do not want to be involved with this. I don't want to be a part of this huge lawsuit, this huge criminal investigation. So I'm going to spill the beans.
Really?
And there's been a lot. And Jaguar, who's been in the inner circle of this whole thing for quite a few years, is talking about this stuff. So let's see what this guy talks about real quick.
Bieber, Odell Beckham, and Trey Songz.
Yes.
Odell Beckham Jr.
Trey's like literally sitting there playing lookout.
Playing lookout as Justin Bieber goes down on Odell.
And young men have left their house
right?
screaming to get away from them in their mentorship. Meek Mills. Bashir Gray.
Y'all, Jaguar Wright just confirmed all our worst fears about Justin Bieber. In a recent interview with Storm Monroe, Jaguar spilled all the tea about how Diddy didn't stop at using Justin for his own pleasure. He allegedly also passed him off to his friends and allowed them to have their way with the poor young Justin. Justin Bieber has also been trending these last few weeks after the raid on Diddy's homes, and many disturbing videos of him have been circulating on the internet. It has led to new conversations surrounding Diddy's weird relationship with Justin. What's worse is that, according to Jaguar, Diddy has done the same thing to many other up-and-coming male artists in the industry, including Meek Mill. Now, Meek Mill went into a frenzy on Twitter a couple of weeks ago, trying to prove he wasn't Diddy's boy toy, but it seems like the rumors were true after all. So, did he really pass Justin around in the industry? And just how many other young men did he do the same thing to?
Apparently a lot.
That's selling out arenas and everything. It's starting to act different, huh? You ain't been calling me and hanging out the way we used to hang out.
The way we used to hang out. What does that mean?
So, Justin Bieber started trending sometime last year after Cassie's lawsuit dropped, because the lawsuit opened the floodgates for many shady things about Diddy to begin coming to light. At the time, it kind of seemed like people were exaggerating just how messed up things must have been for Justin when he was around Diddy. But with everything that's come out now, girl, you gotta admit that there must have been something very creepy going on there. And
okay, it goes on. I mean, but this kind of gives you a little bit of an idea. I'm going to put all the links to these videos in the description when we post this on our YouTube page, because there's a lot of shit that you can go down and down that proverbial rabbit hole and see. There's a lot, and you're just like, okay, if this all comes to light and that it's true, you have to admit that if you were a big fan of P Diddy, you might want to reevaluate that. But you do you. You know what I'm saying? You do you.
I don't know.
Still keep this guy in your, oh, he's fucking awesome. I love Diddy. He's awesome. That's between you and your conscience, I guess, right?
Well, I don't know how you can be a fan.
I don't know.
I mean, you sound off in the comments, because like if you like the pop genre and you like these pop stars and stuff like that, I guess especially if you're of advanced age like we are.
How dare you? How dare you?
It just seems like he wouldn't be in your rotation. Maybe like, maybe like he's in a shuffle. Of like 2000s hip hop or something like that you're playing at a party, and one of his songs just comes on and on a shuffle or something like that.
Yeah.
I get that, but like to run out or run to your computer and download his latest album and then just sit there and jam out on it, I don't know how I don't know how people do that. I don't know how people did that in the first place, because it's so manufactured that it's just not fun to listen to for me, I guess. And this is my opinion, and this is just kind of how I feel. And anybody out there, feel free to have a different opinion. I get it. And you can roast me in the comment if you want, but I just don't get it. It always seemed over manufactured and overproduced. So
it's a lot of this is psychological. You have certain rhythms and beats, you have repetition of lyrics, repetition of various choruses and all of that in the music that appeal to a certain group of people. Usually it's a younger crowd, not all, but and it takes a while before people's musical tastes mature a little bit more. You can appreciate this, but then you also can appreciate old school stuff, Floyd, Zeppelin, Aerosmith, things like that, and those are just rock. Elvis, Beatles, you can really appreciate a lot of Johnny Cash, Stevie Ray Vaughan, things like that. You can really appreciate that. You can still like this type of music, this, or K-pop or all these other things. That's fine. Just understand that it is what it is for what it is.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. Makes sense on that one. Anyway,
Your
but
word salad of that like comma, bro. You did that. That was awesome.
well, it's like the community banks are in the community for the community because they're community banks.
Iceland is a country that is not full of ice.
But it's a land.
It's in Europe.
Right. And in the middle of the ocean. Therefore, it's an island.
Oh,
Iceland Island. See how it works together? It's
so
like, oh my God. Just Mensa, here I come. So it's, so here's some more of the Biebs and an uncomfortable thing. We'll rip through a couple of these because it's there's a lot. But this is Diddy talking to Bieber. I don't know how long ago. He's definitely. I was looking for a wire. He's checking out. Are you wired? Are you trying to look at that? Put my hand on. Oh,
Yeah,
not because no, I'm looking for a wire, motherfucker. That's what he's saying. How awkward as shit was that?
Yeah. Well, and two, okay, so you've got sex trafficking, you got racketeering, you've got these kind of things, and it seems like transportation to engage prostitution. It almost seems like he was trying his hardest to be a mobster pimp, I guess. Is that what
Epstein Jr.?
Yeah.
Maybe.
I felt like he was, and this is kind of what made me laugh is I've always kind of took Diddy as a joke ever since Dave Chappelle did the did the skits and everything. After that, I was just kind of like, oh yeah, he is the joke that I think that I always kind of thought he was. And the way Dave made fun of him, I love Dave. Like I love anything that he's ever done.
Yeah.
I really do. And just that was just like, just some of his best stuff. And but since then it was almost like then I started kind of paying attention to what he was doing and stuff, and it just really seemed like he was trying to be this kind of mobster pimp guy or whatever. And and now apparently he's been kind of doing mobster pimp stuff, but he seems like one of those guys that has, and there's alleged Hollywood elites,
right?
They have allegedly sold their soul to the dark side, right?
Yeah, the proverbial devil.
Yes, and he seems like one of them, like 1,000%.
Here's my question, because there's questions that need to be asked on all these things as we start talking about it. Do you think Diddy did this all on his own, or do you think he is the little puppet that the puppet masters are controlling? Because how do you evolve from getting into the music industry, being a rapper, starting all, and then all of a sudden now you're allegedly into doing these things, passing people like Biebs off to your friends, and all of these things that were mentioned. If that's what happened, well, you can make the call. If you don't believe it, you don't want to believe the video or anything, and that's fine. Let us know what they're doing instead of what is being alleged. Just let us know in the comments on that one. But is there somebody? It's like Epstein wasn't the top guy. There was somebody else who took him out in the jail, because conveniently the world's most secure prison cell that he was in, with guards out front who conveniently fell asleep, and the cameras that somehow malfunctioned and didn't work, and then all of a sudden he had something to be able to hang himself with or whatever it was. It's like, oh, well, too convenient, don't you think? I don't think Diddy is the top guy either, and I think most people probably would agree with that. It's like, yeah, no, Diddy's just the fall guy.
Yeah,
Jay-Z. who's running Jay-Z? Is it Jay-Z and Beyonce? Because that's a weird couple as well. And there's stuff in there talking about it's arranged marriage. It's to keep the power couple, and Beyonce is sitting there taking away all these people. Who's that gal that was it Selena or something like that, the singer who Beyonce allegedly took out because she was getting to be more popular than Beyonce was.
Yeah, I'm not.
I mean, there's a lot
what that was.
alleged.
Well, I think that she's one of them as well. Like
Yeah.
I think
I
she
do
sold
too.
her soul. Some of them even have talked about it in interviews and have mentioned it. And I think that whoever is at the very top, I don't think we'd ever know.
No, they're
But
the reason they're at the top. Yeah.
Yes, they use these entertainment industry stars as tools to obviously
Get
them
their
coming.
agenda taken
Keep
care
them
of.
coming. Yeah. And they're kind of using them as pawns, and they use them as fall guys, and I think that they do it willingly. You know what I mean? These pop stars, because you figure, say even if they had a round table and they said, okay, well, Diddy, you're the newest member, and what we want you to do is we want you to do this, 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 and this, all these charges that he's accused of now. Okay. And Diddy sits back and says, well, that means I get to engage in all of this stuff as well. And that sounds like a blast.
Yeah.
We can do all the drugs we want. We can have all the alcohol we want. We can have
whomever we want.
Yes, and I'm so popular now that nobody can say no to me. I can bring.
I'm going to make their career.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
exactly.
And if they don't stay with me, they're done. So he's kind of got them on the hook.
And then a lot of these things too. I read that they were filmed, so you automatically have bargaining chips. Yeah, blackmail chips too.
Yep.
So I think it's well planned out and thought out. And I hope, what I'm hoping is, and I feel bad for him. Well, now I'm starting to feel bad for him because I feel like he was kind of used as a pawn.
Biebs? Yeah.
Well, no.
Or Diddy.
Oh, Diddy. Yeah.
That's an interesting twist. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So
he's used as a pawn for this other agenda for the,
he's totally being used. I agree with you. Yeah, I agree with you now that you.
And and that's just another I guess another pot of that sex trafficking ring.
Yeah.
That's going on over here. And then they got another pot over here. Then they got another pot over here that are just feeding this sex trafficking ring. And he's just kind of another, I guess, tool for them.
Yeah. Yeah. He's another pot on the stove, and there's lots of burners with all these different pots, and whoever's sitting there stirring the pots, that's the guy who's going to benefit from whatever it is that he has them doing. I don't know. I could be completely, totally wrong. And we all could be, but I think he didn't get arrested for no reason yesterday, day before, whatever it was. He didn't get raided on both his homes because they don't have information on them. They don't go into your house, into your mansions, into this, that, and the other without having major evidence on you.
Well, and he's had accusations brought against him from the ex-girlfriends and stuff like that before. So this is obviously, this runs a little bit deeper, and maybe because of some of those things and some of the things you talked about earlier, they started opening a case and trying to gather whatever evidence they could to try to nail him to the wall.
Yeah. So, and doesn't stop with Bieber, doesn't stop it with Meek Mill, doesn't stop with Odell Beckham Jr. Apparently. You ever heard of a guy named Usher? Oh yeah, we talked about him earlier.
Yeah. So
it is the video from Howard Stern's show where he's talking about, but just look at the headline there: living with Puff Daddy as a teen. Now, I don't know exactly what kind of environment that Usher grew up in. I don't know if he was from a single parent or living in, South Central or Watts or the barrios of New York or Chicago or something. I don't know. I honestly do not know. But again, would you, as a parent who knows your kid's talented, allow them to live with somebody as a young teenage child, and listen to some of the stuff that he talks about? And he kind of jokes around about it a little because, hey, it's Howard Stern, and they're talking about all this shit. Listen to some of the stuff he talks about because, again, it all comes together. It's a triad here of these three: Bieber, Usher, and Diddy, specifically in this example. But it just goes on.
To New York City, and I lived with Sean Puffy Combs for a year. It was curious. I got a chance to see some things. It was pretty wild.
Usher's past comments on Diddy now going viral.
These are places that a 13-year-old probably should not be.
In the wake of his former mentor's federal house raids.
I met Puffy a long time ago, around, 92.
Flash forward to 2016 on the Howard Stern show, the singer recalling his wild memories of living with Diddy, who now faces serious legal trouble, including sex trafficking allegations.
We're sending you over to something called Puffy Flavor Camp.
In the 90s. Do you understand what that's like? I went there to see the lifestyle.
Right.
And I saw it. It was pretty wild. There were very curious things taking place. And I didn't necessarily understand it.
There's so many things that I want to do.
Well, maybe it's 13.
Diddy helping Usher with his debut album alongside other soon-to-be music superstars.
Who's that guy?
And in the backdrop, Diddy's hardcore lifestyle.
Biggie Smalls was there.
Biggie Smalls was there. Lil' Kim, Craig Mack.
All these people are hanging around.
Yeah, man. Faith Evans,
And your parents
Jodeci,
were
Mary
okay?
J. Blige. They ain't know
Thank
nothing
you.
about this.
Oh.
Yeah. A good time. You know what I mean?
Of course you
Does he
were.
have you doing any chores? Are you doing dishes at all? I mean, to keep you humble somewhat? Or are you just like, can you stay up till 4 a.m. with them and party?
I mean, I could. I
Yeah.
actually stayed up longer than this.
Puffy was scheduled to do my record, and I went out to meet him. He was a really cool cat. He's actually coming up on a lot of different things. He had a few artists, but he was just getting started. Bad Boy was really up and coming, and I just always known him as a hard worker. He did my first album, completed my first album, and we kept a friendship.
Despite the friendship, Usher admitting in his 2017 Oprah's Masterclass, his 13-year-old maturity at the time seemed to surpass his mentor.
We would fight. We would tussle. More than often, I think Puffy would say, man, you got to chill. Like, you're just a little bit too intense. You got to relax. Like, yo, man, I'm here to work, man. I ain't sang in a week. I mean, I'm 13 years old. I'm not here to party with you. I don't want to go to the clubs. Matter of fact, I'm too young to even be in here. Why you got me in clubs? There were a lot of things I seen and a lot of positions.
I hope that's true, that he had this moral compass back then about that. I really do, because I like Usher.
I do too. Yeah.
And I think he's a cool cat. I think I like his music. I like him as a person. I think he's a good person. And I hope he had that moral compass where he's saying, you know what, I'm 13, 14, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Why I mean, he was having a good time, but then to say, why are you keeping me, letting me go in these clubs? I'm not supposed to be. I'm not, I hope that's the case. I really do.
Well, even that, and what I liked about Usher, like you'd see his videos and stuff like that, and he's moving the whole time. He's dancing, he's doing this, he's doing that, and then you see him perform like on some of these.
Michael Jackson looked like a statue almost.
Yeah, and like he'd do his live performances on like the award shows and stuff like that. And just the way he performed and how meticulous it was, you could tell that he's a workhorse, and you could tell he's a perfectionist.
Mm-hmm.
And people like that do, a lot of them do have that moral compass. Like, hey man, just like you said, hey man, I came here to work. We're working on my album. I ain't sang in a week.
Yeah.
What the hell are we doing here?
Right. Exactly. Yeah. So I hope this is the case. Let's play just a couple more, maybe a minute more of this or something like that, and we'll move on to the next one, because I got a few more to get through, and
I think I was put in where I had to make very, very tough decisions in my life about who I would be.
New York is a little bit too fast for me. I spent like a year here.
Meanwhile, Usher has yet to address Diddy's legal troubles. But back in his resurfaced interview, the father of four did tell Shock Jock Stern this.
Do you have money? What's going on?
I mean, I had like per diem. You know, I had like, you know,
What
like
a
a living.
life.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
You're a dad now. Would
What
you
was
ever
per
send your
diem?
kid to Puffy camp?
Hell no.
Hell no.
That goes on.
Hell no.
Hell no. I mean, you know, I don't blame him as a kid. You know, that's the freaking life, man. You're living the dream at that point, and it's just a little crazy. But yeah, it's just nuts to think that you know Diddy was doing these things, you know, helping these people out with their careers. And all right, so this is a quick one of Meek Mill or Meek Mills. I guess it's Meek Mill at the pool. And listen to kind of what he says, because this is apparently Diddy filming him at the pool.
Oh, he's filming him at the pool.
Yeah.
Great.
Man, you doing it, man. You deserve it, Daddy. You putting in that work. Proud of you. I love you. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I don't have an issue with saying, "Hey, I love you, man." We do that a lot with our friends.
Bros. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's a bro thing, and
This
it's
is big.
I don't have.
So he finally did get arrested. He's in federal custody.
Sorry, this is, let's get that off of there for a minute.
I absolutely love Megyn Kelly.
She's awesome. Yeah, she's got some takes on a lot of things we're going to show, especially about the debate that we're going to do on our next podcast with Kamala and Trump, and how ABC was softballing everything for Kamala and stuff like that. Oh, how can you think it's bad? Yeah, we'll just show you the evidence and you can make a decision. Anyway, so yes, love Megyn. She's awesome. And if you don't, that's fine. It's okay. We don't all have to like the same people. No big deal.
We don't all have to
do. All right. Here's another little quickie short with Meek Mill. They're talking about it. I just kind of it's like it goes on and on. Bieber, Usher, Meek Mill, Odell Beckham, Biggie. I mean, on and on and on. So it's like, here we go.
Yesterday, as Meek Mill was hearing some buzz about him being associated with P Diddy lawsuit, and he decided to come out and address the issue. And he effed up real bad. He should have stayed silent instead of shitting the bed like that with that tweet. Now we're digging up everything about Meek Mill that there is to find. Now, what did he say on that tweet?
I want to take a moment.
Use a different voice,
for
people.
All Meek Mill fans and all Philadelphia niggas around the globe right now, because they got him, and by they I mean Diddy. Diddy got Meek Mill, and it's all coming out in a lawsuit.
Bro, I remember a time when Meek Mill's tweeted the D is good as hell. And we were just all like, okay, well, I don't know. The D can mean a lot of things, right?
Yo, I swear to God, this man be blowing me, bro. All you had to say is, I did not fiddle with Diddy. That's all you had to say.
I didn't.
Now you over here saying the lawsuit is AI generated, it's fake, bro. The lawsuit is real, gang. You
see, I mean, it's on and on and on. We can go on and on. There's so much here about that. It is just, you just sit there like, okay, are we making this shit up? Are we up in the night about what's going on? Because it's not just us saying it, and it's not just a couple video. I mean, dude, I can go for hours finding videos of people on and on and on and on, and it's like, I'm just going through a few of these that I'll just post on their links onto the video. I won't go through them, but it's just more stuff. And it just goes on, you know, and it's other things like Diddy's talking about his mom is the only one that gets to call him Sean. I get it.
I get it. I kind of have the same thing going in my family. It's kind of like I have a name from my childhood, and only the people that knew me as, you know, as a young child, and then my family, and then close family friends can call me that. But people that don't have any sort of those connections, I don't feel good about them calling me that, right?
So isn't that opposite? It's opposite of what he is, though.
Well, I know, but I get that. I get that kind of
thing. His real name you can't call him. You can only call him the nicknames.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's kind of weird,
isn't that? That's what I mean. Is
See,
like you don't get to call me that cool ass nickname that your mom called you, for example, right?
right,
Because that's
right.
a bond that
That's
you and your
me and my
mom
mom
have.
thing. Yeah.
But wait a minute. Oh, I'm not. I can't call you Sean,
I can't
but I can call you Puppy. Isn't
Yeah.
Puffy more the name you shouldn't be able to call him because that's a special bond nickname that you have with the close knit group of friends or something? It's just it's
Yeah.
opposite of what you were saying.
Yeah, that's that. Now that you bring that up, that is kind of weird. I mean, it's you can only call me by this nickname and this persona name that I've created.
Yeah, but don't ever call me by my real name.
Mhm.
Oh, okay, Sean. I won't.
Hey, Sean. Yeah.
Okay, Shawnee. Sean. Shawnalicious. Okay.
I wonder what his
The Sean
middle name
Man,
is.
the Seanster, the Shaunaruski. I mean, I can go on. I'm just saying. So it's on and on and on, dude. And we'll wrap this up right now because we don't need to really go into much more on this because I think people kind of get it. And I'll put these links in, like I said. Please comment what you think about this whole thing. Do you think P Diddy, Puffy, Love, whatever the hell you want to call it, Shawnee, Sean,
Love Daddy,
is he guilty? Or is he innocent? Is it just the feds taking him down? Is he a fall guy? Is he the scapegoat, the pawn?
I think he's guilty, and I think he's all of that. I think that's my opinion. I think he is guilty.
Put that out loud.
I think he's the pawn,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that he was made to take the fall for this kind of thing, even though there was a lot of people behind the scenes controlling it and pushing him to do it.
And who are those people? That's the next question. Is that who they're trying to get now? Plea deal, sing like a canary, and then we'll lessen your sentence.
But how about this one? And this is kind of what I thought from the very beginning. And now this is one of the reasons why we even started this cast. As you know, but talking to the audience, this one of the big reasons why we started this cast was our underlying message to question everything until you either find the answers or there's no more questions to ask.
Right.
My thought is, so I don't know if you saw this, but Hillary came out the day before
Who
Diddy
is this
got
you're referring to?
What's that?
Who's this Hillary?
We all know who she is.
Oh, that one. Okay.
She comes out in
the share of Hillary's. Okay, yeah.
yeah, Queen
Madonna of Hillary's. Yeah.
Queen Hillary. She comes out with a statement. She was on a panel or something. I'm not exactly sure what the format of the interview was, but she said, and I'm
paraphrasing.
I'm paraphrasing. Yes, thank you.
You're welcome.
Said something to the effect of she's upset that the mainstream media is not portraying Trump as dangerous as he actually is. Okay. And
okay, explain yourself then, Hillary. What do you mean?
Yes. And then she goes on, with the normal rhetoric, right?
Right.
And the
Talking
and the
points and all
normal
that bullshit, yeah.
Yes, exactly. And then the next day, Diddy's picked up. So is it that whole situation where we should look over here at Diddy because there's something going on over here that they don't want us to see or talk about or ask questions about or even notice, right?
Mm-hmm.
That is what I'm putting my money on. Mark my words, my friend.
I hate to say it.
I think Diddy is being used as a smokescreen right now.
But I agree with you. And I don't really hate to say it. It's just the phrase you use. No, I agree wholeheartedly. This has been the playbook. The number one play in the playbook is a little smoke and mirrors. Is a little distraction. Ooh, look at over here as I'm reaching under here. See, oh, no, look up here. See, and I'm grabbing your money out of your wallet or whatever.
Yeah.
That's exactly. I agree wholeheartedly because they're now they were 0-2 on, and they had the little bomb thing on Long Island at his rally there, and then they had the acid attack in Tucson, Arizona, that people were getting their eyes. This one lady is like interviewed, she's blinded by this, whatever the hell. So that's 4, at least. And now I've heard, and this is, I know, going off the Diddy topic, but it kind of goes back to what we're talking about, where this is the distraction.
Exactly.
As we're worrying about poor old Puff Daddy Sean Diddy Combs and what he's going through. Oh, poor guy, multi-gajillionaire.
Diddy.
So bad. And he's had a life. I mean, if he were to somehow mysteriously not be breathing anymore, he's had a good life in his personal egotistical little world.
Mm-hmm.
He's been able to get everything he's ever wanted physically
and more, like everything that you could ever dream of or want or even think of.
Yeah. He made his fantasies come true.
Mm-hmm.
And then we all just have them in our heads and they're never going to come true. And we all know it. And, it's what it is, but that's why they're fantasies. So he made those come true.
Yeah. It's just who you sell your soul to.
Yeah.
Really,
he is the distraction for all of this. Because why now? Why a month and a half out?
Month and a half out from elections. And I just feel like it's the smoke and mirrors. He's being used as a distraction right now. And
bingo, Jack.
I guess the thing that scares me though is what are they trying to distract us from?
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of that's the question. That's a scary question. I think that's a question that we all need to be asking ourselves.
Definitely.
And all starting to look maybe 2 or 3 pages in on the news. Not first page, keep scrolling and see what's going on and let your spidey senses kind of take over, because I bet you when you start connecting some of these dots, you're going to see, and this is my goal for this weekend, dude. I've got to find out what the hell they're hiding with the Diddy.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to be doing my research over the weekend, trying to find out what the hell's going on. But you never
we'll have
know.
to do a part 2 of this for sure.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, so that's my take on the Diddy thing. So
I can't disagree with you. I think most of all of these things going on are distractions. They're not our distractions. Well, they are distractions for us, so they are our distractions.
They are
our. But it's you're right. I mean, this is definitely a distraction, because why not? Because why has it taken? When did this first come out? April, May, somewhere in there.
Yeah, this has been ongoing for a little bit.
So why has it taken 4 months or whatever, 5 months to get to this point, conveniently a month and a half out from the election? And why now? And what are they going to do? It's everything is a distraction to what is really going on. So pay attention. Don't let this take your focus away from the big picture. And I mean, it's like you got Kamala making a buffoon of herself left and right in these interviews. If she doesn't have a teleprompter in front of her with her talking points, she stays on point and says the exact same thing in every speech, every interview, everything.
Mm-hmm.
Notice, watch. She cannot speak off the cuff. She cannot improvise. She cannot come up with the answer, because she has nothing in that little pea brain head of hers where she can answer a question. And we're going to do a next topic real quick also on her and some of the latest stuff we've discovered that people who are watching this may or may not have seen. But you kind of need to be aware really where her values lie. And we still are questioning those values anyway. But anyway, I agree. I think P. Diddy is a distraction. I think it's very interesting, the timing of this whole thing. I would love to know who's behind this whole thing. who's the puppet master and who's his puppet master and the puppet master above that, and so on and so on. This goes a hell of a lot deeper. He's the fall guy. He's the scapegoat. He's the one that's gonna be taking the blame. And they have him on. Okay, get this, because he's in the same jail in New York that Epstein was.
Yeah.
Do you realize they have him also on suicide watch right now?
That's what I was gonna say. That he's on suicide watch right now.
Right. I'm just like,
coincidence?
Oh,
I don't think so.
It's deja vu all over again. I've seen this movie before.
Megyn Kelly, she made kind of a wild claim. I saw
Was it
an
really
interview.
that wild when you really
Well, I saw an interview with her. I saw the interview a couple days ago. I don't know how old the interview was, but she said before the end of the year, we're going to see Epstein.
So you're saying she thinks he's still alive?
That's what she said.
That's what she's alluding to.
That's what she's alluding to, which is very interesting.
I
kind of hope he is. So he can shed some light. So he can release these names on this list apparently, and unfortunately, there's going to be names on the list that you don't want on the list. And there's people you like, people that you respect.
People you're going to go, oh shit, really, that guy? Oh my god, he was my hero.
Damn it, man.
Well, guess what? He's human. We're all imperfect. So
yeah, there's going to be those people, but not to say that all those people on the list did the unthinkable acts that were
necessarily bad. Well, they could be bad people, but they do bad things every once in a while. Maybe they regret it and like, oh shit, I didn't realize what I was getting into. Then I got caught up in the situation. Who knows? I mean,
right?
Who knows?
But that is another way to take people out of certain positions. You know what I mean? Strategically take them out of positions that they may be in that they
don't want them in anymore.
Yeah, these puppet masters want somebody else in that position. So maybe, I mean, this could be the long con,
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, definitely. Well, these are certainly things that we'd love to hear everybody's input on and what you think as well. Is P Diddy, is this whole situation a distraction to something else? What is that something else, or what could that something else be in your mind? I mean, hell, let us know. I'd love to hear your thoughts on that.
Yeah, sound off in the comments, because this is a touchy one, but I think that it needs to be talked about.
Careful with the touchy reference, but we're talking about right now, right?
Very touchy. Are we using phrasing anymore?
Right.
My bad.
Got to watch every single word you say. Yep.
Yeah, so I want to hear the comments, and I want to hear what you think, because this is
there's more to this,
say the least. Yes, and this is this is just the surface.
Yeah,
folks, this is just the surface.
Yeah. Yep, we are scratching the surface. All right, we're going to wrap this one up right now and get into the other one next. We appreciate everybody taking the time to listen, and hope we've open your eyes a little bit on this if it hasn't been open, and we hope we've done it in an entertaining way, that you've enjoyed the podcast and you continue to watch and share the video with other people and let them know we're just having fun. We're asking questions, and we hope that we open some people's eyes and enlighten you with what's going on in the world.
Yes, sir. Thanks for listening, folks.
All right, have a good one.
Have a good one.
Bye.